Don't tell anybody I said this, okay? But I actually enjoy the Cloverfield movies. I was just sitting around earlier thinking about whatever happened to J.J. Abrams. He was in every movie, or he was producing something we would see on, TV or movies. And I have not heard anything since a couple years back. He was awarded $500 million from Warner Media for some kind of projects that he's going to do. I have not saw the evidence of that yet, unless he just took the money and ran. Maybe. But anywho, the main part of this video that I'm trying to get at is when I went to J.J. Abrams' IMDb, I was thinking, what's he into? Cause he produces a lot of stuff. He just put his name on stuff and he just, send the credits or whatever. But I usually dive down to writer and director, right? When I go to writer and director, I see in writer, he's got 3 projects. He's got 1 in pre-production and 2 in production. The one is a TV series, whatever. He's got another one he's going to write and direct. It's called Ghost Rider, okay? The third one is in pre-production. It's called Untitled Cloverfield Sequel. And I was very intrigued by that, so I dived a little deeper. So this one, it says Did You Know, the trivia, in 2021, it was officially announced that the new sequel would be a direct continuation of 2008 original, a true sequel to that film. So it definitely interested in this, and I hope they're almost, I don't know how far along they are with this. I don't think it shows you who's in it. You know how that goes. They're very, very, I give them that. They're very good of not spoiling anything or who's in it. They just show it, and then they release it IMDb. I think that's great how they do that. Now, if you're not familiar with Cloverfield, the first one came out in 2008, right? And it was definitely a different feel. I think it really, I think how it was portrayed or how the story was, there's a lot of people who loved it and people who hated it. Me, I loved it because it was just a different feel of that, right? Without giving spoilers, if you ever watched it, to me it felt like a Blair Witch Project when aliens invade Earth. But you don't really see the aliens as much. You see them partially here and there, but not as much as people would want, right? But it's got that shaky cam, whatever. I liked it. Now, granted, I've not watched it. Shoot, it's probably been a while, but I'm actually might do a revisiting review of Cloverfield 2008 because of this sequel coming out. Whenever it comes out, they don't say. But also, if you don't know, there's actually, after 2008, they released 10 Cloverfield Lane. If I remember 2016, this was a kind of they didn't renounce it, they just all of a sudden showed the trailer. And I liked it. It was this movie, it's no spoilers, how 2008 was in, New York. This was in, I don't think it was outside New York. It was in a farmland. And not to get into details, but these two individuals were in this bunker, and they have to try to survive. They don't know what's going on in the world, yada, yada, yada. It was really good. John Goodman, man, he was fantastic in this movie. And I've watched that more times than I did the 2008 version. Now, in 2018, they came out with Cloverfield Paradox. And that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was released in Netflix. I remember my first thought when I watched Cloverfield Paradox. It didn't feel that good at the time. Because I had, it's kind of like Cloverfield has, it's like a lightning in a bottle for me, right? And 10 Cloverfield Lane was still, it wasn't like that, but it had a different type of perspective of what's going on in that universe or in that world. And I really enjoyed both of them. But Cloverfield Paradox, it was based in space where these astronauts and stuff happens, and I like that it's kind of like a prequel. So Cloverfield Paradox is kind of like a prequel to Cloverfield 2008. That's what I could get out of it. Maybe I'm wrong, and please correct me down in the comments below, because I'm a normie, but that's how I understood it. Now, with the sequel to 2008 Cloverfield, I was thinking, okay, and I had to redo this video because I was all over the place, and I was thinking, who was involved in the 2008 Cloverfield? I'll tell you who the writer was. It was Drew Goddard. Goddard? I can't pronounce his name. So I really like his style of writing. He is freaking fantastic. I think he's involved with a lot with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He knows how to do writing. He is Chef Kiss. But guess who was the director of the 2008 Cloverfield? Matt Reeves. I did not know that. So now you might ask, who is going to be the director of Cloverfield sequel in 2008? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the guy, I can't pronounce his name. It's Babak Anvari, I guess. And I looked at his IMDb. He's been a director for a lot of things. He was a director of, let me see here. He's a writer of a lot, 6 things. And let me see if he directed. I see he's produced a lot. Let me see if he's directed. And he's got one movie out right now called Hollow Road. I'm trying to see if he directed and written this. Hang on one second here. Because I was thinking about watching this movie, if it's already out, to kind of give a perspective of his style of movies, right? Because some directors, they have a very, very unique fingerprint of making movies. Matt Reeves, man, the reason I like Matt Reeves, because he has a very, the Batman, very, very good style. Just scroll down what kind of things he's written. The Penguin. Let's see what for particular directors. I'm trying to think anything else that he's done that I enjoyed. War of the Planet of the Apes. He's written that one. Where's the directors? Hang on one second here. God, this IMDb is such a cluster F. Let Me In. Cloverfield. Yeah, I never realized that. I thought Matt Reeves done more things than. He's just at Let Me In, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is really good. I haven't watched it in a long time. War for the Planet of the Apes and the Batman. And of course, he's in pre-production of the Batman Part 2. But the Batman was very. You look at the Batman in Cloverfield, he has that particular style of directing, right? And I love that, where some of these directors, they have like M. Night Shyamalan, right? He has a very particular style, and honestly, whatever movie M. Night Shyamalan makes, I watch it because I know what to expect. I like his version of a story, just like Matt Reeves. Now, the guy who's directing the sequel, I haven't saw his work. So I actually might do 2 upcoming videos, if y'all are interested in it. I'm going to watch Hollow Road, if it's available to watch yet, and give my perspective on his style of directing to see how he might do it with Cloverfield. Now, back to Cloverfield. I mean, like I said, the first one that I liked, 10 Cloverfield Lane, I wonder who directed that one, if there's anybody that I know. And it don't really matter. Yeah, Dan. I don't even want to pronounce that. I don't want to embarrass myself. Let's see if he's done anything. But that's the thing, is the 2008 Cloverfield it's a very, very different style. And Matt Reeves, I think he done a fantastic job, in my humble opinion. Oh, well, that is interesting. So, just a FYI, if you didn't know this, the guy that did the 2014 or 16, Dan Trachtenberg, he actually directed the movie Prey, the Predator movie. Predator's Killer of Killers that's coming out this year. Predator's Badlands, and he, of course, the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think that was in 2016. Yeah. So he's got a pretty good style too. And that's the, again, I'm going to, in closing this long video, and I'm all over the place, but I love stories, right? You know, I love how somebody can be different, right? And that's the whole point of, I think, if whoever owns the rights to, I don't know if a Bad Robot owns the rights to Cloverfield or what, but I love the idea of somebody, you know, have a different spin of a story, right? If it's, you know, and try to be different, but still kind of the same kind of style of what you feel like, right? And a lot of Hollywood has messed it up. They want to put their own spin on it, which is fine, but they forget the main story that's involved, right? People don't care about certain things, but I don't know why. I don't know nothing. So, but anyways, what do you all think? I'm actually looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it goes to the theaters. It might go on Netflix, but, you know, that type of movie, I would want to go to the movies to watch it. What do you all think? Comment below, let me know. And like always, I hope you all have a freaking fantastic day, because you deserve it.